Welcome to another episode of UCRD Reviews. So did you go out and spend nearly $200 on an S Gundam and think, I didn't spend enough money, I need to spend $60 to $80 more? Well, I've got the set for you. So the Metal Robot Spirits and KA Signature released the S Gundam Option Parts Booster Unit set. So you can turn your expensive S Gundam figure into an even more expensive MSA-0011 BST S Gundam Booster Unit type. Me being the sucker that I am, I went and bought this set. It is just an option part set, as they let you know right there. It actually says what all you get in here, and we'll obviously go over that in a little bit, but this is the majority of what you get in the set. So there are some parts compatible with the Armor Girls Project figures. You do turn the S Gundam into a different variant, and then you get this thing, whatever that is. We'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, I'm really excited, and let's check it out. Let's see what's in here. So here's the set all opened up. So we're going to go ahead and use the parts in here to make the S Gundam Booster Unit. So first thing you're going to need is this thing. This is the S Gundam. If you don't have this, I would not recommend buying this set, because the set will be completely useless to you. But first things first here, if you do have it, you're going to want to pop off this little tiny skirt armor very carefully, like so, on both sides. And then you're going to want to violently rip the legs off. Just channel your inner 5-year-old and tear the legs off, like so. They have the metal joints there, so they're pretty rugged. This one on mine is much more difficult to get off. There it goes. And then you're left with this. So we're going to need this piece here, as well as this one. These are the pelvis pieces. And then you have little tiny skirt armor pieces, really small. There's one more. So we're actually going to put those on first. So they're going to go on. So you want, there's like a gap in between them. That gap's going to face downward. And it's going to go right where the other skirt armor pieces went. And so this one just plugs into there. And so you have it like that. And then these pieces, this big white piece here will actually go kind of on the bottom, like so. And then this piece has this peg here that pegs into this slot. So it's just going to go right like that. So we're almost there. Okay, so for the quote-unquote legs, we're gonna need to do some work here. So these are the booster units. It's the same one that came with the XS Gundam. Really well done. We need to plug off these holes here. So these little pieces will only orient in a particular way. You want to make sure it's flush right here, because if you put this on the other side, it'll kind of fit, but there's this weird gap there. So we're going to put one here, and we're going to see if that one works. Okay, so that works. So we did that one. And then for this one, we want to plug here, but not here, I think is how it goes. So that's the wrong side. So then it's got to be this one. There we go. Okay. So then you just take your legless S Gundam, and you have a peg here. You want it to be kind of forward facing, so you don't want the peg to be back here and then plug them in. You want it to be up closer. That's how you know which one goes on which side. And then it's kind of a long peg, but they'll just sit right in there. And then same on this side. And now he kind of has legs, kind of. So let's work on the back here. So there's two units that go on the back. The first is this big piece. So we're going to take this here. This is a stand piece, very similar to the one that the S Gundam comes with. And that's going to plug right down like that. And then you have these two, I don't know, propellant tanks that they're going to plug in like so. And then you want to completely remove this backpack, which we have to do for another step later anyway. But then this is going to go kind of down here, like so. You may have to pull up on the S Gundam's waist so that it's not hitting the rear skirt armor. But so that's it with the propellant tanks on it. Alright, so remember that backpack we took off? We need to take these things off of it. So we're left with just this. And now we need to take the remaining two booster units, and we need to put the beam cannons on them. And these just snap in. Again, the same basic thing as S Gundam. So we're going to do it to this side. And then these will actually plug into the back unit here. You want this, there's a hinged piece. So you want the hinged piece facing away from S Gundam. So S Gundam's going to plug in here. You want the hinged piece back here. Easy way to remember. And they'll just plug in like that. And then you're going to take your big giant figure here. You want to move the back binder out all the way. And you might need to pull these out a little bit, or a lot. And the whole thing should, in theory, plug into the back. I think I got it. Yep, it's in there. Now you get to sit there and reorient everything, but that's pretty much it for the back. That is very, very, very bulky. That is a bulky figure. Okay. So for the next thing, you're going to need, for the next step rather, you're going to need this, which comes with the S Gundam. You want to remove this. And you're going to need this weird looking little piece. So you want to pull the extender arm out, like so, or actually the opposite way. Kind of set it back in there. And this is going to plug into that. Now from here, let me put this down, grab this big old figure here. So then before, the gun would plug into the side of the leg. Well, you don't have that anymore. So now you can plug it directly, kind of, possibly. There we go. You can plug it directly into there and knock the entire leg unit off. You can plug it right into there, and then have him grab the gun. So let's check out what it looks like on a stand. Alright, so now we're going to attempt to put S Gundam on this stand. So your new stand piece is right here, and it should just plug right into there, like so. Angle the camera up a little bit, and there you have it. pretty easy to put on a stand. So going back to the tray, there's some other pieces that this comes with that we haven't covered quite yet. You do have 2 of these little pieces. These are for the AGP S Gundam figures, the Armor Girl project, which I do not have. Same with this. This is a different, I guess, like pelvis piece. That's the extra plug part for the verniers. These pieces are compatible with the Armor Girl project figure and for something else that I'm going to show you here in a second. Same with this piece. This is actually for making a like ship mode, which we'll cover in a minute. This is again for the Armor Girl project conversion. And I hope it's very obvious that this is not for your standard S Gundam, nor are any of these pieces. No, you can't turn your S Gundam into a blonde, but you can turn your Armor Girl project figure into a blonde. And I guess it goes without saying, be careful of that. I've never had to say be careful of a strand of hair, but I did today. And then you have the front hair piece as well, complete with the little beam weapon there. Very interesting. Alright, so lastly here we're going to do something a little bit different. So you want to take this larger gray movable piece here, as well as the backpack for the S Gundam, and you're going to attach them together and fold that piece up. Now you're going to take one of your booster units with the beam cannons attached, kind of like we showed before, and you're going to plug it in and pull it down, like so. You're then going to take another booster unit with the covers on it, and you're going to place that one up here. And you want it oriented so that it folds upward. So you have to pay attention to which one you put on there. Now you're going to do the same thing to the other side. And you have one that's missing a cover, just like on the S Gundam. And you can put the cover on it if you want, but to complete the look, you want to do that. And so you're going to come out with this weird fighter thing. But we're not done here. So now you're going to take these propellant units and pull the tops off, and take these and pull the pegs out. So we're going to make one, and there's two. And so these will actually attach back here. You have to be a little careful because these pieces like to fall off. That's probably what's going to happen. Nope, I got lucky that time. To make sure it's oriented correctly. And so there's those. So this is the weird fighter thing that you can make. The instructions call it like a cruiser. You can also take the beam smart gun with the connector piece that I showed earlier and connect it in there very carefully, and it just kind of hangs very oddly. But yeah, I don't know what this is from. I haven't seen it in any of the Sentinel reference material. So anybody that does know, let me know in the comments. And if you have any sources to it, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. I'd have to see the source material to see how close they got it, but you know, you have these like pegs sticking out of here and all of this. I don't know if this is something made up for the metal robot spirits, you know, figure or what, but I wanted to make it and show you guys, but this is probably the only time I'm ever going to make this. So that's the whole set here. There was one more fighter variant that I could not make because I didn't have some of the Armor Girl project parts, but so that it can make two different fighter types out of the pieces. But other than that, this is everything. So I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's kind of a one-off design. It's obviously from Gundam Sentinel, and it was deployed in between the time frame where they were upgrading the S Gundam to the XS, and they kind of took all the spare parts and made a fast attack mobile suit, and it, you know, translated well into a figure. I think we've only had one other figure of it in the Gundam Fix line. It was part of the it's part of the Deep Striker, I think. The colors were a little off. It didn't quite look like this, but it was still an S Gundam Booster Unit. But this is a true one here. And if you're willing to drop the money on it, it's worth it. It's just a matter of going out, buying an S Gundam, which is already an exclusive, then finding this part, which is an exclusive as well. You know, that's kind of the trick to it, is how much money are you willing to spend on this whole endeavor. But I did it, and even without the Armor Girl project figure to use some of the other parts, I think it's worth it. It is going to run you about $250 on the low end for the S Gundam and this option part set, but I think it's absolutely worth it. So, you know, if you already have an S Gundam and you want a little variation into it, absolutely pick this up. I'm really happy with it. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.